Switch gears to Thanksgiving travel. The busiest travel day of the year. TSA is expecting an increase close to pre-pandemic levels just ahead of Thanksgiving.
Yeah, people are tired of being in there and be with families.
That's right.
KENS 5 reporter Lisa Tez just arrived at San Antonio International. I can see behind you, busy already.
That's a lot of people.
Good morning, Sarah and Barry. Yes, that's right. We're already seeing a whole bunch of people getting here, passing through, lines forming as well. So if you are having a flight, make sure you get here early. They expect 17,000 people to pass through the San Antonio International Airport just today. Yesterday, there were about 16,000 people, and that's just folks leaving the airport. That doesn't even consider arrivals. So they expect about 34,000 people pass through each day, every single day. TSA is expecting to screen 2.5 million people today across the country. 238,000 of them will be Texans, according to AAA. That's a 6% increase from last year, but still 13% less than from 2019. Between 5 a.m. and 10 a.m. is usually the busiest time here at the San Antonio International Airport, and that's because it's a commuter airport. That means that folks usually have to fly elsewhere for a connecting flight before getting to their destination. The Department of Aviation has added more staff to be available going into the holiday period. TSA also has a few tips to make sure your trip goes as smoothly as possible. They recommend arriving 2 hours early if your flight is domestic and 3 hours earlier if your flight is international.
The airlines, you always know your departure time, but they also now show when boarding starts. I would use the boarding time as your mark of whether it's 2 hours prior to boarding, because you really want to be at the gate when they're starting to board.
As far as what you can bring on your carry-on, this is always something that I have to look up. If you can spray it, pour it, pump it, it has to be less than 3.4 ounces. One example TSA gave is if you bring a whole carry-on full of potatoes, that's totally fine. You can do that. But as soon as those potatoes become mashed, it has to be 3.4 ounces. So if you have that bake that you're doing, if you're bringing it, just make sure that it's those 3.4 ounces. But for now, reporting from the International Airport, I'm Alyssa Tez, KENS 5.